Okay, let's start. For those who are maybe I know you know me already from former presentations. I can state that I added now further supplements to this presentation to provide a better scientific medical approach to understand healing and especially the healing with Qi or Zhineng Qigong. The outline is how it all began, the healing of Maren's frontotemporal dementia, our body's repair and self-healing mechanism is the second point. Then I will give a really tough and short introduction to epigenetics, as well as to psychoneuroimmunoendocrinology, that means PNIE, to Qi and Zhineng Qigong, and to the main components of Zhineng Qigong, influence of Zhineng Qigong science movements on our body, what they are producing. It's very surprising. And the next is basic quantum mechanical facts about human bodies. We have to know this because then we understand why energy, also Qi, has the ability to heal us. So in the conclusion, we are all energy beings, and additionally, we are all vacuum beings. I will go into this in detail later. Then the quantum mechanical nature and healing power of Qi. Wait, I have to bring this in the background. And next step, Qi science and the string theory. This is only a pre-announcement. We will not do this today, but it's closing more further text together. How it all began. Normally, and catastrophes also have sometimes a very good effect. In this case, the catastrophe got a perfect and happy out going from the results and pushed me to research now Zhineng Qigong. So the story is my beloved Maren developed aggressive frontotemporal dementia, and conventional medicine cannot stop or slow down FTD. She only had a few months to 1 year left. So, of course, I searched desperately for a healing solution and finally found them with Zhineng Qigong. I give you only a very brief summary of healing history because it's not so the main focus of this presentation. So she got severe symptoms, need to sleep for 20 hours, speech disorders, movement disorders, stumbling and stiff movements, inability to add or subtract single-digit numbers, forgetfulness, and further things. Then in October 2017, the diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia was given. We traveled then 2017 in November to Dali, learning the use of Qi, especially from teacher Wei, visualization, meditation. And in December, already first observable improvements appeared in or with Maren. And she fully recovered as at least a big wonder in April 2018. So after 5 to 6 months, she recovered from this really heavy disease. What did Maren? She connected her consciousness and heart with Qi, guiding through her whole body for cleaning and for good and healthy information for all her cells and intercellular spaces. She frequently meditations with the idea of becoming completely healthy again. And she enjoyed every practice and has been very happy and delighted with each of her condition improvements. She always visualized a healthy and clean brain with its restoration to full functionality. For the visualization, she used this graphics where you can see at least a lively and action of a full functionally healthy brain or nervous system. So now I'm coming into the game because I was a scientist and I was, of course, curious to understand scientifically and medically where the healing effect of Zhineng Qigong comes from. So I started to investigate this aspect and soon analyze other alternative healing approaches. The results from Maren's cure are presented at various conferences and lectures as well as in a report. And the report exists in 3 languages, German, English, and in Chinese. And in the chat, I already give you the links so that you can download the reports you are interested in. Also, a further outcome is that we are now close to the end of preparing a book with the scientific medical basis for alternative healing methods. And in this book, we are dealing with healing and repair mechanism of our body. I don't want to go into the things in detail later. When you have the video, you can stop at the point and get the information directly. But on epigenetics as well as PNIE, I will give some more slides later on. So also we analyzed 39 alternative medical approaches. Here you have Zhineng Qigong, for example, homeopathy, traditional Chinese medicine, and so on. I'm showing this because we make a ranking of this healing methods. Here you only have a rough view of the first of the 38 healing methods. And here on the epsilon axis, you have the points for different healing capacities. And from this, it's still in German, I haven't had no time to translate, but it's also not so important. But the main output of this ranking was that for Zhineng Qigong, this is a yellow column. The sum as well as average healing effectiveness was the highest with 97 points and 4.41 for Zhineng Qigong. So to give it in advance, Zhineng Qigong is a really good method to deal with elderly health problems. Now let us switch to epigenetics. We have here, I have to check for the waiting room. So we have here an illustration of a DNA and with readable genes. That means that the information can be read from the DNA. But epigenetics, that means lying upon the genetic code, also can block the reading, and then the cells are not anymore able to make meaningful genes, proteins, etc., or the bad version of genes, which bring more inflammation and other things. So this is a regulation in our body for making genes and the outcome of the genes, that means proteins, enzymes, structures, possible. Epigenetic key factors, gene expression control. It's very important to have this. Remember, we have in every cell the same code, the same genetic code, but a liver cell has another shape, other tasks than one skin cell, etc. And so a lot of the genes are in all cells epigenetic regulated, so that the cell can make the specific task. This is done by DNA methylation and histone modification, which are blocking or silencing the genes. It can be reversed. So that if some things are changes, factors, diet, stress, lifestyle, environment, then it will be possible to that the cell can produce it again. I will not go that also you can make a heritage from this and over the next generations, which is good or bad, depending on the epigenetic regulation reason. The influence of environment is very heavy. So factors like toxins, nutrition, exercise, and mental health impacting the epigenetic mechanism. So mental health and thinking and mind I will come very soon. And also dysregulation of epigenetic can be linked to cancer, and neurodegenerative diseases, and metabolic disorders. And unlike genetic mutations, epigenetic modifications allow organisms to dynamically respond to environmental changes, or, this is important, also to our thinking, what we are thinking. I give you now an impressive example. There was a country house experiment. That means, I think, 20 or more persons in the age of 60 to 80 were brought for 5 days in a country house with furniture, with the TV program, journals, etc. from 20 years ago. That was all. They lived for 5 years for 5 days in this house, and then they were examined first. They were asked, I gave you already this information, how they are felt or they are feeling, and they've all found themselves significantly younger. But also their blood values shows concentration of people from around 10 years younger. That means that to stay for only 5 days without meditation or other things, just live there and change their blood values to younger persons and so on. So this is only mind driven. But of course, if you have changed blood values, you have changed metabolic reaction in your bodies and in the cells. And the reason is that during the journey back in time, many genes were deactivated according to age, while genes characteristic for younger years were epigenetically activated. There's much more to say about anti-aging, reverse aging, but we will follow first the path of understanding Qi. This will be done some time in the future. But to tackle this will be then the telomeres, just that you have an idea, autophagy, exercises, healthy lifestyle, PNIE, Zhineng, Qigong, and so on, which is important. Now we are coming to the biological process which is forming our whole body and also is controlling together with Qi or the information of Qi our health. That means Qi and PNIE are over the brain, lead to healing. You know that Qi is following our thoughts and our will, and this is also represented here. And of course, without knowledge of Qi and PNIE, the healing effect would be lower or not realized. So we have the psycho, that's what we are thinking, and we have the soma, our body. And they are coupled very tightly. And you have to know that up to 85% of all diseases are triggered psychosomatically. That means our thinking and our environmental experiences are forming our health or our diseases. The rest of 15% have a genetic, traumatic, that means accident, for example, an infectious background. So to give you a broader insight about the PNIE, you have the psycho component, where positive or negative emotions, thinking and believing, consciousness and subconsciousness are having an effect to the nervous system. We have two, a central nervous system, that means especially the brain, and our autonomic nervous system for moving our muscles and the skeleton, etc. So the nervous system communicates with nerve signals and neurotransmitters. This is a kind of chemical information distribution. Then we have the endocrine system. There is the signaling done by molecules, that means hormones, that trigger physiological reaction and are involved in cell communication. So this is the second type of communication within our bodies. And then, of course, we have the very important immune system, which reacts to stress signals and emotional states and regulates the body defenses in interaction with P and E. The I is missing because we are just talking about the immune system. So in this case, they are all connected. They even use the same information transmitters or neurotransmitters, so that they are constructed at least to work very close together. And then so that what we are thinking will influence all this. And I think I have a very good evidence. Sorry, I still have for this. So the connection between mind and body and people with multiple personality disorders. This is really very surprising what we know about this. So in a multiple person, each identity has its own nerve network in the brain to store memories, characters, abilities, etc. So example for the personalized switching of personalities with specific diseases within minutes. That means, for example, we have here person A and only B, and maybe person A, the person is existing here, which I'm now counting up, has, and in the state of person A, a high blood sugar concentration. That means really heavily diabetes type 2. And when the person is switching to person B, within minutes, the blood values or blood sugar values are in the normal range. With MRI or MRT proof, person A, another now is blind, but has a normal visual activity when the person changed to person B. Also, the change of sex from a female to a male, for example, looking to testosterone levels was observed. Child brainwave patterns were in the contrast person an adult person from the EEG frequencies, normal reaction to medication and different or no specific drug effects. This can be elongated, but I wanted only to give the proof that that's what we are thinking, or our mind has a more than huge impact on our working of our body and also of diseases or becoming healthy again. So this illustrates that PNIE, especially mental state and thinking, can fundamentally influence somatic and physiological processes on control mechanisms in the body. This I already mentioned. So PNIE is also likely to play a prominent role in spontaneous healing, but I will not tackle this during this presentation. So the general PNIE effects are negative mind cells in metabolism are disrupted and blocked. They are poisoned. They are that much poisoned that, for example, if you got a transplanted organ, it will be attacked from the immune system. But if you can bring the immune system down, the body accepts this. But for example, to bring it down, they use stress like pharmaceuticals. So it's really poisoning. Positive mind. Cells and metabolism can work optimal and well balanced. Now we are coming to Zhineng Qigong and Qi. Uh, I think you know the concept of energy plays a central role in Far Eastern and other traditional healing methods. Qi, an example in TCM, that means China, Prana, and Ayurveda, India. Ki, an example, and Reiki from Japan, and Mana, Lomi Lomi from Polynesia. And there are much more examples. Some come Zhineng Qigong exercises. I think you are all accustomed with Zhineng Qigong, so I will jump very speedy through this section. Gathering Qi, collecting, absorbing concentration of Qi, let Qi open, close, lift Qi up, pour Qi down, or the so-called Qi shower, Chen Qi, and other things. In addition to the standard Zhineng Qigong methods, I have developed the concept of the Qi Creek. And the idea was to find or create a feel-good place that uses the alpha brainwaves when falling asleep and waking up. Then you have better access to the subconscious. And the stay is thought to last the whole night, during which she is constantly flowing or cleaning through the sleeping body. You can, here's an illustration I've performed or I made for this. This is the Qi Creek. Here it's normally or normal water, but for the Qi Creek model, you have to assume or to think this is pure Qi flowing the hill down. And you are now lying in the Qi Creek on the back so that you can breathe. And the Qi is constantly running through the whole body. And with the imagine that you have when you go to sleep, that it will last all the time, will raise the effectivity of Qi and of the healing. We did this in one person who has had multiple sclerosis, and there we said, try not the Qi Creek, try a Qi waterfall, where with the Qi is coming with more power to your body, and the person on the next day already said, "Oh wow, I feel just better." He made after this a lot of progress, and but we will not deal on this in the moment. But it was for him at least very effective. So main components, and this is very important and also new, for, also for me new. With Zhineng Qigong, you are making movements, and these movements are super important for our body and for our healing. Then, with these movements, you are supplying the body with good strengthening and healing energy and information. And we have here that's cross-cut of a tissue where you have here nerve cells, capillaries, you have here waste products and so on. And this tissue is, when it is functioning well, giving the cells optimal nutrition and also is transporting from the cell the waste products away. So if this, and then with the age, for example, and the tissue is getting weaker, we have additionally, that's now very important in the new Like in another presentation, I also have a video where the system of the tensegrity net is demonstrated per video. But here you can imagine this as a kind of architecture which is bending, taking or receiving forces, sending forces, also piezo effects. That means electrical and information. And the point here is that this tensory that goes into the cells as well, and this is very important, into the cell nucleus. So that means that this also can induce epigenetic changes within the cell core, and that means also with the metabolic spectra of this cell. So at least if you put this together, touch an example of the forehead, continues to the tips on the toes, and also covers every organ, every cell and molecule. The Chinese or Asiatic people know this already because what they make is to give applause to them. They know that this applause is connected to support the liver, also um, forwarded via the tensegrity net. So assess structural and energetic functions. The key role in immune defense would wound healing and cell supply and disposal. This supply includes nutrients, minerals, hormones, and other messenger substances, as well as the removal of toxins and waste products. It represents an uninterrupted network of branched molecules, a structure that stabilizes themselves to pressure and tension. They enable communication within and between cells and with the cellular matrix. And they are giving an essential link between intracellular, extracellular, and communication between these compartments. Thus, a mechanical vibrating energetic electronic information system is realized via this living matrix. And you can imagine all Zhineng Qigong practice or Shenxi, open, close, and so on are influencing this. So also we have a kind of mechanic component to heal ourselves. And this was the founder of the so-called Pischinger room. Just to give a name. So also Kermit is doing a lot of uh, wellness and fitness for his body and health too. So main components of Zhineng Qigong. We cannot dive into the other things or concepts. So influence on all cells and organs have to be done later, as well as self-healing with via vagus nerve, meditation effects on the body, stem cell activation, placebo, nocebo reaction. I only mention this to say there's a lot more to say about healing. Another introduction now to our world and also to the wrong way we are recognizing or see diseases. Then the real world is others than we are seeing, smelling, tasting, and touching it. So for us, it seems that our world is consisting of particles and mass, so we also see diseases as particles or mass. In reality, however, elementary particles, atoms, and molecules interact with each other, and electromagnetic radiation, mechanical oscillation means vibrations, and chemical and thermal signals are generated, all of which contain energy and information. These physical phenomena can be perceived by our senses in the form of light, heat, sounds, smell, and flavors. So that's the view we perceive our world. An example. Oh, sorry, other person want to enter. to this presentation. So now let us begin to crossfade to the electromagnetic nature of our world, the reality of our world and cosmos. This is our real world. Information, energy, waves, oscillation, and not solid things which we are accepting or knowing. So this world is changing to this, and I can say now, welcome to quantum mechanics. Basic quantum mechanical facts about human bodies. Let's dive in. First, the statement, we are all energy beings. Everything in the cosmos vibrates and oscillates. That means elementary particles, atoms, molecules, cells, organs. Here's some facts. Atomic nuclei around 10 to the power of 22 hertz per second, oscillation per seconds. Complete atoms still 10 to the power of 15 hertz. Molecules around 10 to the power of 9 hertz. Cells around 1000 hertz. Even the Earth is oscillating with 7.83 hertz. And the evolution and our bodies are also reacting on the Earth. So the natural electromagnetic vibration of the Earth influences our brainwaves, our nervous system, and cell communication. There are a lot of research stating this. It's also or possibly linked to quantum coherence and global synchronization. This leads to electromagnetic vibration and information fields that permeates the entire universe. Let's take a closer look at the matter. This is the second important point about our body and why we should change our particle and mass-related view. We have here a nucleus, a proton and neutron, and we have quarks, up and down quarks. It's not important to know what it exactly is. The proton is positive charged, and the quarks components are the matter of components of matter approximately only 0.2%. That means the rest is energy, and the energy is realized with these gluons, which are sticky, and put the quarks together. So approximately 99.8% is binding energy in our body. So we are at least very energy or energized beings. The electron has at least no real mass and is not composed of quarks. So it plays in this view not a very important role. Wait, I have to. So we are also energy beings. That means we are constantly sending and receiving energy. And this energy can be positive, negative, can be with disease information or with healing information. So we are all vacuum beings. Is the next point. The structure of atoms was former thought it will be in this shape. That was the atomic model from Bohr, but it's wrong. We have here, these are all possible locations of the electron. So the electron is distributed statistically around the nucleus. I will not go into detail for this, but the statistically fair residence space of the electron around the nucleus is very important in formulating the vacuum. Let's take a look to the proportions of an atom. The dimensions within matter, an atomic nucleus is approximately 10 femtometers. That means 10 to the power of minus 15 meters. And this we are now extrapolating to 1 meter. We're blowing it up so that the nucleus is has a diameter of 1 meter. Then the electron would be located in a distance of a radius between 10 to 75 kilometers, or in diameter, because it's going around, of 20 to 150 kilometers. Huge space between every nucleus and electron or atom. So if we are now summarizing these results of an empty atomic volume of approximately 1 billion, a billion and 700 cubic kilometers. And this in this example would correspond to 22.6 times the volume of the largest lake on Earth, the Caspian Sea, if we would assume a nucleus diameter of 1 meter. So every atom, and therefore all matter, consists to 99.99997% of space or vacuum. And the rest is 0.2% of mass and 99.8% of energy. So the emptiness in our body is directly connected with the emptiness of all matter, because all matter is constructed of atoms and molecules. So with every animal and plant, every stone, underground, the entire planet, the entire space, and star systems and galaxies, they all have 99.999% only of vacuum. And this is a space where we are all connected, because we are all constructed from these atoms. So the void connects everything in our cosmos with each other. What can we derive from this? We are not only connected to all of space and matter as vacuum beings. Here's the number. Matter consists to 99.8% of energy, and the vacuum of 0-point energy are filled with energy, and energy is also information. We will come to this soon. This energy is not limited to electromagnetic fields, but refers to all types of quantum fields. Energy fields contain information that can interact, in example, resonate, or can be with constructive or destructive interference. So let us look in the void, our quantum space energy or 0-point energy. Energy that exists in absolute vacuum where not particles or fields are not more detectable. They arise from quantum mechanical oscillations. And it exists at every point in space, also in us, as well as on Cygnus B, is a sun somewhere else. Theoretically, each cubic meter of space contains enormous energy potential and mediates interactions between particles and fields in the universe. So matter, for example, is popping out of this field, but also can go back into the field. So the mass is not stable on long time scales. And there's also experimental proof of this energy, is so-called Casimir effect. If you want to dive in deeper in this point, just Google this. So the connection to the universal energy is a kind of universal life force that connects all things in the universe. And this is realized in the void or in the vacuum, which is existing all and dominating the whole universe. There's also an interaction with consciousness, which might be an access or influence of this fundamental energy. There are a lot of theories that our thinking, our brain and consciousness is connected to the quantum mechanics, but we will not deal today with this. Shortly, an introduction to Burkhard Heim as a mathematician who made some predictions with mathematics, where he was of several I think, 0.00001% clear or got the correct results. For this, he developed a complex model of the universe. And for this model, he has to use or to structure 12 dimensions in order to make a unification of quantum physics and general relativity. So this was his scientific objective. And for this, these are the 12 dimensions. This three, the space-time we know, we have here length, width, height, and time, which is structures and in one direction. But we have also in the next dimensions, for example, all the roughly I can translate it to construction plans. And the next dimension 7 and 8, where there's the idea behind this, all the information also about us now and what's happening here. So I will not go into detail. This is could be harmful to our brains, but I want to state also that there are a lot of mathematical models and views points. They are beyond our daily experiences we made with our world. So the vacuum, as I told you, penetrates and connects all matter. So again, we have here the nucleus and the electron, and there we have the energy and the information. And then I use this kind of illustration for bringing this together, because now we are coming step by step closer to healing information together with energy. So this field between electron and nucleus and the whole universe is full of electromagnetic fields, of control and information fields. Then Zhineng, with the 12th dimension, we just touched it a little bit. Then we have attractors. So very important. I will go into this detail later on. These are the rules of the universe, how the universe is constructed, and then also how we are constructed. And this is, in this area, it's totally timeless in contrast to matter. There exist also some quantum mechanics experiments where the time is proven to play no role in this field. So things which happened first will change when another effect is connected to this and gives a other result. So that's a rough and short idea to give the idea of the timelessness and some other things. Let us come to the fine-tuning of the natural constants. These are the attractors. For example, an attractor for gravitation. If this attractor result in a more heavy gravitation, no universe would exist, because our would become a huge ball, and the mass in the ball will produce an incredible, huge black hole. On the other side, if the attractor is too weak, then no planet can be formed and other things. So also no um, uh, development of a universe is possible. And this range of the several natural constants has the probability of 1 to 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 123. It's an incredible and unbelievable high probability that the attractors are different, and or our universe is uh, unbelievable that it's is existing. And here in other mathematics, Roger Penrose, Cycles of Time, an extraordinary new view of the universe, published this and also proved this number. So this vanishingly small probability that determined whether our universe could develop and produce life at all. So again, you have a rough idea about the general information. Now back to this uh, field. We can make it simpler. We call it just G. So the G, attractor wisdom, and the PNIE together make an intensification of self-healing and repair processes, strengthening the immune system, and so on. Then also the construction, let me say, plans of us are a result of all attractor interactions in the universe. That means also if our organs are healthy, they will uh, oscillate in another frequency than when they are ill, and uh, you can now bring it in resonance with healthy vibrations, so that you have also a kind of healing. Uh, it's not easy to explain, but at least if you take home that Qi also has the idea of healing and can transform this idea directly to our body, because we are energy. Like Qi, we are energy. And also we can get in resonance and so on. Just that means we interacting with energy. So there's also a healing probability inside. So relief or healing of example, and now it's just a count up: Parkinson, dementia, like my beloved Maren, depressions, cancer, diabetes type 2, multiple sclerosis, and other things. So all can be done without any uh, pharmaceutical products, which also have side effects and risk. Here you have no side effects and no risk. So it's the more smarter way to cure yourself. Here just the pre-announcement of healing in frequency when strings become medicine. Uh, the string theory, just to say it, is the theory that can now explain all. And in the quantum mechanics, still the gravitation is not cannot be explained, but with the string theory, it is possible. For us, it's important. For example, if you are looking to an MRI, this is one outcome of the string theory. We can make frequency medicine. Because if you are diagnosed in an MRI, you are lying in a strong magnetic field, and that utilize your cell resonances. But if we now bring it in the other way, that the magnetic field is bringing our cells in a resonance, not using the information of the cell resonance, then maybe we soon can heal also with this technique. But in my honest opinion, we don't need this to have more techniques for healing. So we are close to an end. So I wish you all that you will find healing, health, contentment, love, happiness, and a high quality of life, also by practicing Zhineng Qigong. I hope you feel not like this poor dog there or the overloaded donkey. And now we will come to the phrase that always promise us relief. Please palms on Duchi. It's only for those who know Zhineng Qigong. So then congratulations. Some still survived. Uh, I hope I was able to make all the things which are to understand. It was more an understanding and a kind of Iron Man. And the important, I mention it again, is not to understand all the things in the whole, but to have the ideas, and also to be more confident. You are already confident in using Qi, but maybe if there are some people with doubt or thinking Qi is voodoo, you can at least tell them that it's scientifically based or medical based, proven now, or they can also then view this video. And still there are some in the waiting room. Crazy. Okay, so I'm at the end, and I hope you still find you well and will take a lot of new ideas or of confidence with you out of this Zoom room. So if is a question from my side, I still have time. Just switch off the mic and ask me what you want to ask.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said that energy fields contain informations.
Energy is also information. Yes.
This I cannot follow intellectually.
Okay. For example, if you look to a leaf of a tree, you will detect a green color. And the green color is the reflected wavelength, and this wavelength is characterized with nanometers. So a wave which is from different frequencies has different information. Or if it is a gamma ray, a radio wavelength, or also colors, or infrared, and so on. So this is, for example, information which is delivered with the, in this case, with the frequency. Additional is the power of the signal of the wave. And yeah, is this a little bit clearer now? If not, yes, I see you. Okay, perfect. But it is at least an interesting question you have because all which we are surrounded is to 99.8% energy and not matter. If you I, touch is tree or something else, you are at least touching the molecules, and the molecules cannot are not allowing you to penetrate in the case of a solid state. And all the things. So this energy is transformed in our thinking and with our senses and something we can move. But the reality is totally different, and we cannot see the reality because our senses make the reality in this way. There's also, when we are look to the universe, at least there's are only ways and other things. It's very tricky and hard to understand this. But if you accept this, you easier can accept that also healing is 99.8% of energy. There are frequencies, there are healthy frequencies, there are disastrous frequencies, and so on. So at least it's very spooky, but it's also good for us that it is not the truth to have it all thing in mechanics. Also, our arm, but whatever. Uh, I, I now make you more puzzled, or still you have the rough idea?
I think that the notion of the definition of information is another than in currently thinking. I associate information with words, with texts, with thoughts, and this what you said now is another category of information.
Yeah, but for example,
It's a bigger
yeah. For example, you can, with waves, radio waves, for example, transport words from one location to another. So you have a different medium to transport or this information or the words, the music, whatever it is. But there's also, it would not be possible to distribute information if it is real audio waves.
Mm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Regina?
Yes, can I ask you something?
Yes, of course.
If I understand you, it's like we have a potential and the information is around us, and in the normal or common days we are thinking and we have not put attention in what we're thinking. But
Yeah.
if I have all that space and of vacuum and energy, and I put the correct information, is going to be like fitting, and it has the potential to change to the information that I'm putting, and with the time is going to be a change around the places where I put the information.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, this is correct. Because in energy thinking, energy and information thinking, there's always an influence. You can boost the information, then you have a constructive interference, and then this quality is raised, or whatever you are thinking. So still there is a emission and a receiver of information, and we are part of the system, so we are also able to change the energy in the surroundings. Sometimes good persons in the group make the group happy, and if there's now a person who has negative energy, or not the perfect mood, then he will affect the others also. And this is done not only with how the people are feeling, it's also done if you want to have, for example, in my case with Maren, all fits suddenly together. I was desperately looking for a solution. And when I found this, all the things, it's like a time we got the visa one day before the flight, which was already booked. There was a retreat in Dali once a year just then, because she has had no time to wait for another year. All the things suddenly fit together. And I'm sure that I was able to influence this process also now. I guess that a lot of people have also the experience that sometimes, if they are very committed to receive specific objectives, that it was possible for them. But not in the way to say everyone want to be rich, everyone want to be healthy, but no one or only a few will reach this. You have to do for your health something, or rich, or whatever you have on your list. And you have to fight for this. You have to send at least also, yeah, this kind of information, what you want. And then you at least have a high probability to get it. There's a German quantum philosopher, the Wernicke, I think is his name, and he has had a good idea about the quantum ocean. He said it's the ocean of all possibilities, because in the quantum world, all can happen. And if something is happen, this is, I will not to go into the physics now, but at least if you are concentrating on a specific thing and you go now into the ocean of all possibilities, you have a high probability that the possibility which you want to receive, you can grab. Maybe you have to grab several times, but and it's at least good working. And so for me, the idea of the ocean of all possibilities is a great idea. And we can use this for healing or for personal development, for whatever you want. No.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's another hand.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Karrasch. This is
You're
a
welcome.
very wonderful presentation. I have to admit, I feel a little bit like the horse at the end of your presentation
Mm.
because there's so much information.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I know.
But I find that I would like to ask you to go over a little bit more something that will be very useful for many of our participants that are here to find ways to come back to health. And that is the meditation that you talked about that helped your wife, Maren, to recover, visualizing the brain with light, and also if you could go over again the meditation of the waterfall. So these two meditations I find are key to recover and to send good information to ourselves. And if you could go over it, I think many of us will find that very helpful, a practical tool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Especially for the Qi Creek or Qi waterfall, I just have to mention that you have a connection to the Theta healing, and I think I have make up a new path for the next. So
I'm sorry. I think there's people that must mute themselves, otherwise we cannot hear you.
yeah,
Perhaps asking all participants to mute themselves, otherwise we cannot hear your answer.
okay. Again, there's a healing practice or so-called theta healing, and when you are in the sleep and you are healing, you have to know that our repair of our body is done every night at specific sleeping phases within minutes. So this is a catastrophe when you cannot sleep, because then the body cannot be repaired. And if you just using the Qi Creek and your body is thinking all the time in repair, and then the next point is that you are also with the alpha and theta as brain state. You are so close to the stem brain or brain stem, which is the first brain which was developed. So this brain has the best connection to every cell. So if you now projecting over the brainstem your healing wishes, it will be the most effective. And so you're putting together.
Wenn du manchmal scharf verstehst, dann verstehst du den aber viel besser.
Ich versuche da mal. Good, okay. Were you able to follow me? Because there were some.
So if I understand, you are saying that at a certain point of the day,
In the night.
that at a certain point of the day and night closer to the nighttime, our brain waves are theta brain waves, and so they are more effective in receiving certain information. And so at that moment, you visualize the waterfall, and it is more effective in the healing process.
Yeah, with the waterfall, it's only a metaphoric for a strong chi power, which is penetrating to your whole body, cleaning all and bringing good information and healing information to the body. Again, the self-repair of our body only is done in the night, never during daytime. So you are using these specific moments, at least it's more or less only moments, which is then supported with Qi additionally, and with the close connection to the brainstem and the cells. So you have a lot of advantages. That's the reason I only told you that this kind of being in a healing phase during night, although you are sleeping, because you must sleep too, brings you a lot of positive effects. For example, the student in Sanya with multiple sclerosis lived already 3 years in a specific hospital because he was unable to arrange his life. After this retreat, he was so happy because he felt okay again to go back to his family, to his wife and child, because he was now able to move and save and other things. So I will not say that this is only deriving from the waterfall chi he used, but it could play an important role so that he really returned to a more or less normal life and happy life, of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, folks, I see no further hand at the moment. In the chat, I give you also my email address. You can later, if you want, ask me things or giving comments or to criticize me, and I will react on the things. And that said, I will say now goodbye to you all. It was a pleasure to share the insights with you, and I hope that this knowledge will distribute much more in Zhineng, Qigong colonies, but also around the world. Because the really precious thing we have is our health, and all other things are not that much important. So I say now goodbye. I wish you all the best, and thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ciao.